Hi folks, my name is Jeremy and welcome to RetroFat. This is a channel where I, a fat guy, am losing weight while watching and reacting to retro entertainment. So before I talk about the Torkelsons, let me give you a little bit of an update on my weight loss situation. I haven't really shared that much recently, I'm realizing, and I should probably kind of give an update. I try to post a reaction episode every Friday. Sometimes life gets in the way and I can't, but for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty consistent. And since I weigh in on Fridays, it just seems like, hey, I should start each of these videos with a quick update. More than that, fat is in the name of my channel, and I want to share how I'm doing. I am struggling a little bit. I know why. I'm eating too much. It is not a case of, oh, I don't know why. It's sometimes I'll just have like maybe one day a weekend where I'll eat more than I should by 1,000 pounds. And you do that twice and you've added half a pound to what you could have lost. So be it. Right now, I also celebrated and indulged too much around my birthday, and which was last month as well. So I'm an April baby. Yeah, I had too much to eat. I know I did, but regardless, right now I weigh 375.2, which puts me at 104.8 pounds down from my highest. I plan to weigh in every Friday. My goal is to lose a pound or two a week. I'm not trying to do this in any superhero Herculean way. I'm trying to do this in a way that is sustainable and achievable. And sometimes that's slow and it's frustrating. But if I could lose 4 to 8 pounds a month, that would be pretty good progress. Obviously, I want to be on the higher end of that. And some weeks it will drop down way more than others. And there will be some weeks it will be up. But I'm going to try and keep you updated. And plus, I'm on screen every week. So not like I can really hide my progress or lack thereof. So that's where I'm at, and thank you for indulging me as I talk about this. All right, now let's talk about the Torkelsons. So we are on the 4th episode of season 1. This episode is called For Love or Money, directed again by Arlene Sanford, written by Norma Safford Vila. I may be mispronouncing that, so I hope I said that roughly correctly. This, based on production numbers, I believe this may have been the 2nd episode of the Torkelsons produced. There were 15.1 million viewers on the first airing, which was October 12th, 1991. Now, here's the part that's a little odd for me. You all know I always try to dig into like the IMDb and find some facts and talk about guest stars and so forth. Our only guests on this episode really are Bootsie and Riley, who are recurring. So right now, I don't have much to say. This is going to be a true blind reaction video. I haven't seen this since it was probably on Disney Channel. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And hopefully we'll have a good time. All right, let's get to it.
Man in the Moon, the nightmare continues. Here sits the soul of a woman trapped in a child's shell. However, thanks to my newly married and recently charitable cousin, Anita Louise, of the Tulsa Torkelsons, I have received a pair of shoes with 4-inch heels which will bring me precariously close to 5 feet tall and begin to crack this child's shell and allow the woman inside to finally break out. Or at least see off the lingerie counter at most major department stores.
Hey, you got red shoes? Can I try them on?
No, Mary Sue, these are women's shoes and my future.
Then they're my future, too, when you grow out of them.
Not until I fill these shoes with many happy days, as I imagine Anita Louise must have. Perhaps she danced her first slow dance in these shoes and got her first kiss. Perhaps this romance could rub off on me, and I will be kissed as well. Thanks. That wasn't what I had in mind.
I think what I really need to comment on is Dorothy Jane's height. So my son is 12. He'll be 13 in a few months, and he's 5'5". My wife is tall. I'm tall. I'm 6 foot. I'm not that tall, but my wife's also 6 foot. So we expect our son to be a little tall. But for a 14-year-old to be under 5 feet, that's a little wild to me. And then I'm picturing, even like the thumbnail floating above my head right now, she is a full head shorter than her mom. So clearly Olivia Burnett as a child was very small. Really all I had to say about that. It just seems very, she said 4-inch heels would put her close to being 5 foot, which means she's less than 4'8". I'm not really sure what I have to say about that, except that seems very, very small.
People say God looks out for the working man. Sure hope he's looking out for me. These empty pockets need a helping hand. Kitchen tables full of family. But then the sun comes up and the moon is shining big and bright, and the new day promises that everything will be alright, and the new day promises that everything will be alright.
Mrs. Starkey? Howdy do. This is Millicent Torkelson. And I was... Well, I'm so happy you're enjoying my upholstery work on your sofa, because that is exactly the reason for this call.
Mom, Stephen Floyd says that can't go with him and his friends to Frosty King.
I'm on the phone, Chucky Lee.
But if you tell him that he has to let me come to Frosty King.
This is a business call. I'm discussing serious financial matters.
I seriously want a chocolate dip ice cream cone.
Are you bleeding?
No?
Then get out.
Chucky Lee, you tell Stephen Floyd to take you to the Frosty King, or I'm gonna come out there and kick his butt. Now, family comes before friends, and he's gonna want to borrow money from you someday.
Stephen Floyd, Grandma says you have to take me to Frosty King!
Don't you call me Grandma. That is a horrible, vicious name.
Now, Mrs. Starkey, being as how you are so pleased with my reupholstery of your couch, I was wondering when I might expect payment. As my records indicate, you have as yet not paid me anything. Oh, Orrin's still sick. Well, I was counting on your payment so that I could make a payment of my own, Mrs. Starkey, so I... No, you can't pay what you haven't got. I am familiar with that line of reasoning, as I've had to use it myself once or twice before. Nice talking to you. Bye.
What payment can't you make now, Millicent?
Oh, it's just a tiny little thing. I can't even remember what it is.
The mortgage?
That's the one. Why is it I am the worst in the world at collecting money, but the best in the world at getting money collected from?
Because you a sap, honey.
Hey, Bootsie.
Hey, baby.
I want to thank you for bringing me back these shoes from Tulsa.
Do they fit you good?
Like they were made for me.
But can you walk?
No. Do I look grown up?
Yes.
Well, then everyone's just going to have to come to me.
Dorothy Jane, why don't you put those away for a while? You have no use for high heels at 14.
Oh, Millicent, can't you see what you have here?
I have a 14-year-old girl who's trying to look too grown up is what I have here. Any particular reason for that, Dorothy Jane?
None that I could think of.
Couldn't be that too old for you fence neighbor boy just moved in next door, could it?
Oh, I've seen him. He is as sweet as a peach in the summertime.
And maybe you're thinking if you put on these red shoes and hobble over to the Frosty King that he might look at you as something other than 14, which you are, and which you will remain until you are 15.
Then can I wear these shoes?
No.
You want to look older? You come to my shop. I'll put some blonde highlights in your hair. We'll just drive your mama out of her mind.
I heard that.
Bootsie is a great addition to the show. I think I've shared that I know a lot more about and remember a lot more of Almost Home than the Torkelsons, and Bootsie was not in Almost Home at all. I like it's borderline trope probably at this point, the sassy grandma who, as she made clear, she does not like to be called grandma, but she is a good addition. I also like the dynamic, I think I've said this before, of Millicent having such a strong relationship with her estranged husband's mother. There's a lot there that I think is worth unpacking as we continue watching.
Got a bologna sandwich there, Border Hodges?
Yes, I do.
What's the capital of Wyoming?
Don't know.
Cheyenne. So what is that, a bologna sandwich?
Sure is.
What's the capital mean?
Don't know.
Augusta. You know, that's my favorite kind of sandwich.
Do tell.
What's the capital of Louisiana?
Don't know.
New Orleans.
Baton Rouge. That's the only one I know.
I'd be willing to take a bite of that sandwich if you want some help.
I don't want to spoil your dinner, Mary Sue.
You won't spoil my dinner. I'm always hungry. Mama says I got an empty leg.
All right. I'm going to give you one bite.
Well, that's all I want.
Well, that's all you're going to get.
Hey, Border Hodges. Mary Sue, you got something in your mouth.
I vote.
Border Hodges, did you give her some of your sandwich?
No.
Border Hodges. Are you covering up for this little sandwich beggar?
Yes, I am.
Mary Sue Torkelson, don't you be sniffing around Border Hodges like a picnic ant when he's just trying to read his newspaper in peace. Ooh! Is this an ad for Bootsie's beauty shop? Bootsie! You got your ad right here on page 12. By the way, Border Hodges, your first month's check deposited clean and clear, didn't bounce or nothing. And I checked you out with the sheriff's department, and they don't want you for anything.
I'm glad to hear they haven't caught up with me yet.
Ruth Ann, are you bothering Border Hodges with your homework?
No, ma'am. I know all 50 states.
Vermont.
Montpelier.
Yes! That's my little genius. Go wash your face.
You done with this paper, Hodges?
I guess I am.
What y'all think of my new ad? Deep cellophane color treatment and trim, 1995. Hair by Bootsie, we don't do children. No offense.
None taken.
You see, Millicent, if you did some advertising in the newspaper and people took your business seriously, maybe you'd get paid on time and you wouldn't have to scrape to meet the mortgage.
Oh, please, I'm hardly scraping. One of my upholstery clients is down on her luck and needs to pay me a little late, which she will.
Which she won't. I know people. I've owned and operated my own beauty shop for 26 years. I'm a successful businesswoman.
Well, why don't you help out your daughter-in-law?
Because I don't have 2 cents.
Bootsie's beauty shop is 2 sinks and a hairdryer in a little room behind her kitchen.
It's small, but it's legitimate.
I got a legitimate business, too.
And what is the name of your legitimate business?
I don't have a name yet.
Well, ladies, if you'll excuse me, I don't believe I could be more uncomfortable.
You sit down, Hodges.
Perhaps I could.
What we've got here is a woman with a no-name business that she runs like a non-profit organization. Now, what we gonna do about it?
Oh, look at the time. I should have been out of this room 2 minutes ago.
It didn't used to have to be run at such a profit, Boots. But since Randy left, the little extra money I take in is our only source of income.
If you take a regular job, you'd get a regular salary and you wouldn't have to worry about being paid on time.
Sometimes I think about taking a regular job. But that's sort of like admitting to myself that Randy isn't ever coming back. Not to mention the fact I'd miss my children every day, something terrible.
Oh, Millicent, honey, you've got to think about yourself for once. Get out in the world. Bloom.
And while I'm out blooming, who's going to be here when the kids get home?
I'll be here. I can certainly handle my own brothers and sisters after I get home from school until you get home from work.
You're too young, honey.
I hate that word.
You're too young, sweetheart.
I'm mature enough to take care of 4 children. And then maybe you'll realize that I'm also mature enough to wear these shoes.
Help wanted. Jet Mills.
Ooh, they make those handy oven mitts. The ones with the big flowered prints. I used to get their bolt-ins at a good price. Remember the summer dresses I made for you, Dorothy Jane?
How could I forget? I matched oven mitts in kitchens all over town.
Says they're looking for an operator for the 27-line telephone bank with excellent salary potential for the appropriately qualified individual.
Lord knows we could use the dependable salary. I guess I could go down and interview. Of course, there's no guarantee they're going to give it to me.
Well, they're going to give it to whoever has the brightest, cheerfulest hello.
Let's hear your hello.
Hello? Now.
Okay, first of all, that was a very sharp cut, and I'm even wondering if maybe there was something snipped. Pretty sure I'm watching an episode from syndication. That's all we have. I feel like something was missing there. I love that Bitsie's ad says she does not work on children. That's fantastic. Because honestly, watching Mary Sue, who is an adorable little girl, pester Border Hodges, I am also not a fan of children. I like my own. I like good children that I know in very small quantities. Border Hodges is a much more patient man than I am. But I did enjoy Mary Sue say that her mama said she had an empty leg. My family, also Southern and, country, called it a hollow leg. And I'm not sure if that's a country saying or if other people say it. But if you can't be filled up, you have a hollow leg. So empty leg was kind of a nice twist on that. One thing I also noticed, I would really like to know more about Connie Ray and her background, because she was cutting, and I don't know what it was. In my brain, I think maybe it was a cucumber, but regardless, she was cutting it in midair, which is something that I see country grandmas and moms do, but I don't really see people do it. And maybe that's not true and people do it and I just haven't noticed. But I absolutely noticed that she was cutting that without a cutting board in the air, which is not a skill I have. I would open a vein, but she was doing it pretty expertly. So I don't know, just something I'm curious about now. She does a good job playing this Oklahoma mom of 5.
With me working full-time, each of you will be faced with new... Hey! I'm talking to you! Now line up! You know, Stephen Floyd, if you would stand down and lean against the washer with that same scowl on your face, you'd look much more cool. I would like for all of you to look upon this change in our lifestyle with the realization that you have not lost a mother. You have gained a source of income.
I'm gonna miss you not being here after school, Mama.
Don't make me sniffle Chucky Lee. Now, Dorothy Jane, being the eldest and most mature, is officially acting on my behalf and should be considered boss by each and every one of you. Now, Mary Sue, what is the plan?
After school, I'm to walk quickly to Bootsie's shop.
You do not.
Stop at Crawford's pet store and touch the hamster.
You do not.
Stay after school and hang out with the custodian.
Roseanne, drive straight home from band practice, which brings us to you, Stephen Floyd. Whatever horrible, horrible thing you have planned to bring down this entire situation, please don't let it involve matches. Now hand over the pocket knife.
Mom!
Now.
Oh, man.
He has other knives.
One at a time, Dorothy Jane. All right. They're in your hands. May God have mercy on your soul.
I liked that Mary Sue had to go to Bootsie's shop and she was not allowed to stop and pet the hamsters. And I appreciated that Chucky Lee could not hang after school and talk to the custodians, which that's clever. I really enjoyed that. I know so many, and thinking back to my own childhood, I know so many boys who carried pocket knives, even to school. It was an absolute non-issue, which I wonder is why Millicent said she's not too worried about the other knives. She's only going to focus on just one thing at a time. So that was the main thing that jumped out at me. In Kentucky in the early 90s, a 12-year-old boy carrying a pocket knife, for most people, would not have been a big deal. So Stephen Floyd doing it here, that tracks.
Man in the moon. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And my first step toward womanhood is showing my mother I can take care of my brothers and sisters in her absence.
Hey, Stephen Floyd, look how high I can climb.
And when I have proven myself to my mother, she will just have to realize how much more mature I am than a girl of 14. And she won't react so strangely to my wanting high heels. And wanting the slightly older boy next door to notice me.
Hey, Fence Saver boy, where you off to? Hi, Riley, where are you off to?
Well, I was just headed down to hang out with the guys at the Frosty King.
What you gonna do down there?
I'm gonna try and adjust to the fact that what you do for fun in this town is hang out with the guys at the Frosty King.
Coffeeville, they watch dogs.
I was saving that for the weekend.
Riley! I didn't know you stopped by.
Yeah, well, I'm on my way to the Frosty King.
You know, I was considering taking the children for ice cream myself.
Ice cream! Stephen Floyd, I can see the whole neighborhood from up here.
Yeah? What's going on?
Nothing.
You see, I'm in charge of the children now with Mama out working.
Miss.
Well, it looks like you got your hands full.
Well, it's all just a matter of establishing who's the boss. Not the boss of me. Yes, I am. I'm the boss. I'm the boss because I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Look how high I am, Dorothy Jane.
I am having a conversation.
Miss.
Well, Mary Sue, if you can get the big boss to walk you over to the Frosty King, I'm buying.
Hear that?
That'd be wonderful.
Then I'll see you later.
You're the boss. If anybody needs me, I'm at Frosty King.
Me too.
No, you're not.
Riley invited me, same as you.
I need to go alone. If you care about me at all, you will look me in the eye and say that you understand that I need to go alone.
I'm going.
Maybe you shouldn't go, Dorothy Jane. What if something was to happen while you were gone? Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing ever happens. Chucky Lee, what are you doing up there in that tree?
Whoa, Mama! Ow!
Chucky Lee!
A purple leg, I'm gonna die!
You can't die from a broken leg.
Yes, you can, because your mama says you broke his leg, she's gonna kill you.
I'm gonna call Mom. You call Mom, I throw you from the roof. Well, nobody wants that.
You know what they do when a horse breaks his leg? They shoot it.
Don't shoot me, Dorothy Jane.
Why don't you make yourself useful and get me a towel?
I don't have to listen to you.
Wow, that's all coming out of you, Chucky Lee.
Don't touch it.
Don't let her touch it. I want to touch it.
Don't touch it. All right, now you gotta press this on real hard and it'll stop the blood, all right?
Ow, 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 ow. His leg ain't broken. Ow.
Stephen Floyd, answer the phone.
I don't have to do what you say.
Riley Roberts is sitting down there at Frosty King waiting for me. I'm trying to prevent our brother from dying on the kitchen counter, and nobody's answering the phone. Hello?
I'm going to Frosty King.
No, you're not.
Why am I not?
I say so.
Yeah, right.
Dorothy Jane, Flea, and Bobbitt. She's going to the mall with Anita. Want to go? No, I can't come with her right now. She can't come right now.
I'm swooning.
No, she'll get another rest. She says if you want to go later, she'll wait. No, I can't go later. I can't go at all. I can't do anything ever again.
Being a babysitter, especially to your siblings, I think could be a great form of birth control. Mary Sue is killing it in this episode when she so desperately wanted to touch Chucky Lee's open wound. That was pretty funny. Stephen Floyd is so irritating, and that is his role. I know he's supposed to be the annoying, slightly younger brother who has enough autonomy and agency to just be a thorn in Dorothy Jane's side, and he does it so well here. Like, he's borderline villain, and he's fulfilling that role well.
Hey, Miss Torkelson.
Look what I got here. My first week's paycheck, $205. Less withholding, FICA, union, insurance, and pension plan comes to $152.50 in my pocket. Helps take care of that mortgage payment.
Is that more than you used to make when you were reupholstering sofas?
Yes, it is. I'd say $17 more per week just for picking up the phone and saying, hello.
I guess you're glad you took this job.
Oh, yeah. It's a great little job. Nobody bothering me all day. I got my own little cubicle, and the phone does just keep on ringing and ringing. And I direct all the calls to the proper offices, and I get them there, I do. I'm just a little more tired than I intended to be.
What you tired about?
Well, you know, it's exhausting being bored out of your mind.
So we have to talk finances. I did not again we've discussed how the Torkelsons and Just the Ten of Us are both sitcoms about poor families. She said she took home $151. This is early 90s. It's about the equivalent of, let's say, I just very quickly did a inflation calculator, around $350 roughly in today's money, which means she's taking home about $1,400 a month. That's not much. I cannot imagine, even in 92, what mortgage on this huge house would have been. Clearly not much. I think it's really sort of course, we all know that houses and apartments and everything else in TV shows are always much bigger than they would be in real life. The TV shows aren't good at really showing poverty in that way. But I do think this kind of emphasizes how close to legit financial trouble this family is, which is, of course, the entire premise of season 2, Almost Home. But yeah, working. It doesn't really say if she's working a full-time job. I'm going to assume not. Maybe she is. Minimum wage would have been roughly $5-ish an hour then. So yeah, that's a lot of work for, as she said, not a whole lot more than what she was making working out of her home.
Myself to bed.
Well, actually, I was just planning on tying your shoelaces together so you'd have a nice surprise in the morning. I want to thank you, Dorothy Jane, for the wonderful job you're doing around this house. I know it started off a little shaky, what with Chucky Lee's blood loss and Mary Sue's little finger and the coup d'etat on Tuesday, but we've settled that, and you seem to have everybody well in hand.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Did the kids do anything special today?
No, nothing special today. Ruth Ann got a B+ on her state capitals test.
B+? That's special. B+ is pretty darn good.
And Chucky Lee carved his initials up as high as Stephen Floyd's in the tree.
That's my little hero right back in the saddle.
Oh, and Mary Sue drew a picture of a horse that actually looked like a horse. She was real excited when she showed it to me.
Oh, well, I'm sure she was planning on showing it to me tomorrow. Now, you haven't told me what's going on in your life, Dorothy Jane.
You know, it's amazing how in just 1 week of more responsibilities around the house, I feel older.
Did you tell that to the man in the moon?
No, I really haven't had too much time for talking to the man in the moon. Or anybody, really.
Oh.
Do I seem older to you?
Well, I have to say, you seem positively elderly. The man in the moon's out in all his glory, Dorothy Jane. I believe he's longing to hear from you tonight.
Good night, Mama.
Excuse me, Miss Torkelson. I realize your upholstery business is on the back burner, what with your corporate position and all. But I had already had these made up.
Millicent Torkelson, Custom Upholstery and Design. Oh, Mr. Hodges, these cards. I've never had anything this beautiful.
Hope you don't mind the name.
Well, seeing it all printed up like this, it makes it look like a real business.
Well, perhaps they'll come in handy one day in the future. Anyway, good night, Miss Torkelson.
That's just obviously a nice scene. Border Hodges playing this, nice, kindly grandfather to the kids, fatherly role to Millicent. I really enjoy that. I didn't stop after the last scene, but I also really, really like the dynamic between Millicent and Dorothy Jane. They have a great mother-daughter relationship. Dorothy Jane has to take on too much in her daughter role, which is kind of the premise of the show. But I also just want to say I really liked Millicent's joke that she's not taking her shoes off; she was tying her shoes together for a prank. That was a good line.
B+ on your state capitals is quite impressive, Ruth Ann.
But I miss Kansas.
Topeka. That's the only other one I know.
Mama.
Morning, Dorothy Jane.
Why didn't you wake me up?
Oh, you look so worn out and peaceful.
Well, I gotta get the kids' lunches.
All taken care of, Mom.
Well, come on, you're gonna be late.
I got no place to go.
What are you talking about?
I quit my job. Yay.
Yay! Why'd you quit? Everything was going fine.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't worth an extra $17 to Miss Mary Sue's best horse drawing ever. And I miss Chucky Lee getting to the top of that tree and fixing his skinned knee.
But they do that stuff every day.
I beg to differ. Blood loss to that extent is positively extraordinary. Dorothy Jane, there's only an instant that you get to be a child and have a child's life, and in the snap of a finger, you're grown up and gone.
I'm already grown up, Mama.
Not quite, but you are right here. And I'm not gonna steal what time you have left to be a little girl, whether you want to be one or not.
All right, Millicent, I'm here. Now, what is so important that I had to rush over here first thing this morning? Pour me some coffee, Hodges.
Good morning to you, too, Mrs. Torkelson.
You are the only successful businesswoman I know, and you're going to show me how it's done so I can do it, too. My card.
Man the Moon, I have come to believe that this particular pair of shoes with their dangerously stiletto heels will have to wait. Not for long.
All right. Well, one thing that I definitely have to say about this particular episode, I think it's the funniest one we've had yet. The others have been heartwarming or had some funny moments. This one, I chuckled quite a bit. One, one parallel I'm noticing. Oh, and it's like a double parallel because it was the fourth episode of both first seasons. The fourth episode of season one of Just the Ten of Us was about Marie having to take care of her younger siblings. Now, Marie at 16 feels much older than Dorothy Jane at 14, aside from the 2 years difference. I'm sure Heather Langenkamp, being 22, 23 at the time, if not older, mid 20s perhaps even, played some role in that. But I see some parallels in some ways with Dorothy Jane and Marie Lubbock. Mostly just in that they're a little more mature, they're responsible, they do serve as a bit of a caregiver for the younger siblings at time. Now, Marie is a full-blown freak, obsessed with religion and sex, and we certainly don't get that in the Torkelsons, but I see some parallels there. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending part of your Friday night with me if you watch this live, so to speak. And if not, well, I will see you next Friday night where we're coming back with more Just the 10 of Us. Bye, folks.